on the sun in or whether the sun is out of your day. Sun's out of the day, but I thought I could come in anyway. You guys are doing well out there, and just curious. Are you guys on the news cycle? It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I'm just thinking that there's a pattern that, there's got to be a pattern here. Every time there's a WAR, the U.S. seems to import human beings. And I'm imagining the same thing is going to happen with this one. But it's just very tiresome for me. I can't watch these news cycles, and everything is about the same thing. The slush fund campaigns are all over the place. Just everywhere. People are posting these social media hashtags, PRAY for Israel. This one's taken to the street in this place, in this part of the country, in support of Palestinians. Yeah, it just gets to be. I just think it's more of an illusion. I can't. Even an illusion gets to be exhausting after a while. There's just so many things that are that appear to be just illusions. The politicians, who's going to be speaker, what is it, the squad, or it's just all of its seasons. It just keeps recycling. It just keeps seasoning and recycling, and meanwhile nothing ever changes. But I do, the thing that I would like to talk about just a little bit more. I'm starting to notice more. I wanted to do a stream on this. The people of Chicago are all under. This is what I get. This is what I want to talk about. I'm starting to. I go to more of a domestic side, which nothing is completely domestic anymore. Okay, but when you import the world into the United States, what exactly does anybody think is going to happen? Okay, there's an entitlement going on with the quote migrants or migrants, in quote, illegals, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them. But the people of Chicago are, they're bumping their gums towards this mayor, and they still seem to think that this guy. How deluded can you be to think that you can continue to talk out of both sides of your mouth, and something consistent, that the truth is going to come out of that. Let's just say the truth is going to come out of that. Well, it's not. Okay. But then here's another thing. One of the biggest things that I find, as much as they're bumping their gums and complaining about, they're taking over community centers, they're taking over community centers for the seniors, or they're taking over the community centers for the youth, and blah, 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 blah. They all seem to lead. They seem to lead with, we're not anti-migrant, we're not anti, but you are. Because you're not going to have it both ways. You're going to end up on the bottom. You don't have a community anymore. You don't. Your community you were always on borrowed time. And I've talked to you guys before about shades of abuse and shades of narcissism. I've talked to you guys about that before, and I think it's very real. Right now, this NWO agenda is much more important than It's much more. That is the agenda. I mean, what the heck do people actually think is going on right now? And I say this all the time in the most fundamental way, that red and blue make purple. Red and blue make purple. And then the other headline that I continue to see, oh, the governor of Texas is sending more buses to Chicago. And some people are absolutely not only are they satiated by that, but there's a level of they're content with that. But I'm just saying, it just makes me think that just about every single thing that we've been taught or that we believed in or thought was represented this and this is all illusions. It's like this patriotism itself is an illusion. The idea that there's balance and individual and there's balance and there's bipartisanship is an illusion. Do you really think bringing people further into the corridors of this country is that a solution? It couldn't be. But as I've said to you guys before, one of the most disgusting thing is that a lot of people love the illusion of politics more than they do liberty or any sense of liberty or any real sense of freedom. They just want to continue to rah their team. But but you still have people the same stuff. Oh, this one's better, my team's better because of this, my team's better because of that. When there's even when you listen to that KJP get up there every week, she constantly, if she's not blaming the red team, she's talking about, oh, there's bipartisan support. There's bipartisan support. Or either that, she'll refer you to the DOJ, or she'll beat you over the head with something, with your own research, because she's not done any. She's not going to do any. So even a secretary that's an illusion too. I'm going on a limb, okay? I'm stretching, so let's go ahead and stretch. I should have said this before. Everybody, let's go ahead and do a stretch together. Let's put some space in between. Let's put a little bit of space in between our... let's create some space so we can all stretch together and be a little bit looser by the time we leave. But it's true. It's the same types of crisis. They are just on a complete cycle. And meanwhile, everything is just in the tank. To me, this is happening. They keep these cycles going on in the news. Meanwhile, things economically are just going down the toilet. It's toilet bowl. The economy, the store closings that they're not talking about, not just the ones that have been robbery inflicted. No, those are not the only stores that are closing. That's the other thing that I noticed, that when they do leak out something, they leak out very specific things, because it's almost like they want to keep. And to me, this kind of plays to the opposite side. They want you to think, oh, that's only happening in liberal cities. No, there are store closings nationwide. This border issue stuff is a nationwide problem. There is no red, no blue problems. These are problems for the entire country. They are. And to me, it would be, quote, un-American, end quote, not to do that. So before you smack me across the face with your red shirt, your blue shirt, just think about it. Based on how much bipartisan support you get. And it's the same thing. You're not gonna suffer any less as things continue to go down the tube. Car repossessions are up. I've talked to you guys before about how Ford has already filed for fully automated repossessions, and even for repossessions that are those particular repossessions are going to be on a program to take them to an actual junkyard or to a salvage, or who knows, to maybe a car rental dock, maybe an enterprise or a budget, or I'm just saying, it's amazing the things that things are just not registering. Not to mention, we've already seen most of course, your Walmarts and all these places, they've reduced their cashiers. You notice that most cashiers they stand at the front of your Walmart near the door. They stand it's not a quality control check that you're getting at Walmart when you see these people wearing a smock at the end of the register. Most of these registers are automated. Some of them are cash only. Some of them give you the option to break are you doing partial payments, partial cash payment, partial card payment, and some of them don't accept cash at all. So it's only going to be a matter of time, I think, before more of that gets eliminated. AI is popping up in every single thing that you are, everything that you do, whether you have a system of doing it or not. AI is popping up they've got AI releasing or launching new features, and I'm bypassing every one of them. In fact, I'll go to the airline industry, for example. Of course, I told you guys the other day about how PayPal, if you or Patreon or some of these other these platform entities, how they are using PayPal as a way to kind of force facial recognition, facial ID recognition on you. So if you can stand to lose your account if you don't provide them with a government issue ID, or if you don't show them. So that's another thing I wanted to bring up. If you guys are supporting me on any of those on the Patreon, I think that's going to end up getting closed, because I will not have my face scanned by PayPal. PayPal was caught in a scam not too long ago that not even their own associates or their people could deny. They want to know why you want to close your account with PayPal. Marty Lauderdale, Joseph Francis Burton. Yeah, I mean, he's saying Joseph Francis Burton said that I don't think El Paso can afford another temporary migrant. Well, believe me, I don't know, and they're very entitled. I'm just thinking that, I'm going to tell you what's happening. Another thing I saw that was very disturbing, which is very true. I find that most people that are being elevated to positions of power or positions of reinforcement, they've got these agents, to me, on the ground in the U.S. right now, that will try to tell you what you can and cannot do, what your rights are and what they're not. And it's easy for them. They have no loyalty to any illusion. They are not under any illusion. Patriotic, red wing, blue wing, they're not under any illusions, and no loyalty illusions to the country. So you might tell them, you might see them, if you go out and try to video something and something suspect is going on, they're going to come out and try to snatch you up and tell you, oh, you can't be here, you can't record this. I saw something like that, and I was not surprised. Some guy, probably from East Africa, was muscling another guy about him recording. And turns out it was another one of these hotels in New York that's actually being used, allegedly, is being used as a shelter. So you're going to find it, to me, people that are from other places, illegals, whatever you want to call them, green card, whatever you want to call them, to me, it's easy for them to participate in corruption when they don't have any loyalty, or they don't have any roots, or they don't have any illusions, when they're not loyal to any. They're not loyal to anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if you don't start seeing more and more people trying to enforce New World Order on you that aren't even citizens, that are not citizens of this country, that are not, they have no loyalty to you. And New York is, my gosh, that is a cesspool. You find the most, you probably got more migrants. I mean, how apropos is it to have a place where you're hoarding in people from other places, from other countries? You don't know who they are. They're trying to enforce, and they're trying to run a covert operation. There is a covert operation arguably there is a covert operation to me going on right underneath our noses. And it'll be in some unmarked building. You're going to have these big muscle guys from East Africa coming out telling you, oh, you can't record anything on the outside of this building. Even if you're outside the building, there is no free press, there is no independent journalism, because they want to keep everything, they want to try to keep it covert. But I really don't think, at some point, I don't think they're going to be hiding it anymore. I mean, why? But just think about it. I mean, to me, this is a takeover that's going on. And it's been going on. I think New York is an epicenter for a lot of this. It's just whatever friendly outcast. Unfortunately, the less I give the AI, the more the more people can get the notification. That's the game that we play. So jump in, ride with us if you can. Ride with us on this if you want. You're welcome to stay. But I'm just saying, there is no loyalty. There is no loyalty. The people that are going to come here and do the most dirty work won't even be, that'll get their hands dirty real fast. The fastest will be somebody that's not even born here. Most people in New York, what do they care about? What do they care about? Protecting a building full of illegals, or that there's an operation going on. There is people have talked about it for years. About the amount of people here that we don't know. We don't know who they are, why they're here, what they're here for. We don't know. But in this case, what you don't know can hurt you, and it will. So my point is that the news is there's so many illusions going on and diversions going on that they got you looking to the left when you should be looking to the right. They're telling you that they're tinkling on your leg and telling you it's raining. That's what they're saying. And too much is the same thing. They just keep some people on a loop. And if you're watching mainstream media, you're going to get the same loop every time. The exact same loop every time. And to me, I love, I was listening to, shout out to Mr. Pearson, Franchot Pearson. He was talking about how a lot of, have you guys heard HRC and what her ideas are? It's like, tell people you're not a communist without telling them you're a communist. Now that's one, but she wouldn't be the only one. She wouldn't be the only one. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of deception going on right now, and it's almost I cannot continue to. I can't watch the cycle. It seems like the same cycle has been going on for weeks. In fact, I'm even hearing, shout out to Mr. Pearson again, somebody's even covering that some of the footage that they're showing online. To me, this is starting to more look like Blue Crane. It's more look like Blue Crane, that this whole Israel situation, that they found out that some of the footage from there was done last year. Or some of that's old footage. They are putting old videos, showing people old videos of conflict and saying that that's what's going on right now. So people, can you believe what you see? Can you even believe what you see? Can you believe what you're told? And can you believe what you see when it comes to the media? Now, not too long ago, I'm just saying, we are heavily infiltrated right now. We're heavily infiltrated. The media has done a number on a lot of people. You know, and of course, now I'm sure they'd call you're a conflict denier. You're a conflict denier. Whatever makes them, whatever, you know, like NIMBY, you're doing a NIMBY right now. You know, those are the kinds of bites that they want you to hear. It's very selective buzzwords, very selective things that they want you to be aware of. Not to keep you informed, but if you know the language, if you know the shades of the language, then you already know. Like, where have we heard this before? I'm going to be honest. I'm really stunned at some people, the sublocations, and I don't know. But I'm going to say, I guess to me, I would be careful. I'd caution everybody. You might want to vet what you're seeing. Look at those dates and see what the footage is that you're seeing. Yes, but it was Mr. Pearson's channel in which he revealed through some sources. I need to go back on that. Some of the things that are being shown on TV are not even from this year. So are we dealing with another Blue Crane? And are they going to import more people? Like, this is looking more like Afghanistan in many ways. They need to bring everybody here. Folks, I'm telling you, something very, 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 very strategic is going on here. And I think by the time, and not to mention, some people have said the AMMO has gone up as well. The prices on that have gone up as well. So all we can do is pray for the courage to endure, and pray for the vision to see what we need to see. Because they're not going to stop. There's no stopping it. I'm not saying look away, but you know, you just, because we don't know the daytime or hour when any evil or darkness comes our way. All we can do is pray for the strength to endure, and that we have the courage to see what we see. Thanks, Marty Lauderdale. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm just saying that, but the infiltration, I think, is like threefold or tenfold right now. It's revealing itself. It's not that I think it's a new thing. The infiltration is not new, no. But I'm saying the unmasking of it is, to me, more apparent. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well out there, but I'm saying I don't do a lot of reporting on the conflict, because to me, it's like these are open-ended things. They're not going to end. There is no ending to it. You know, you're on a loop. You get watch, rinse, and repeat. You had Afghanistan, and now Afghanistan, Blue Crane, now this Palestinian situation. So I'm just saying, you might keep your head on a swivel. You know, it didn't. Yeah, it's just I just think the agenda is moving forward, and they're weakening. If they could destroy the U.S. economy, if they could crash it, to me, that's been the biggest. I think that's been the biggest stronghold. It's been the U.S. economy. But at some point, I mean, the middle class is breaking down more and more every day, just by the day. Like, most people they don't talk about this, and I wanted to get into economy and all these kinds of things, but more people are using, it's not just seniors or people, more people are using credit cards to offset their wages. There are reports on that. I'm out of studio right now, and I can't give you that, but there's reports on that. Car repossessions are up. Home loans. I was hearing something about Austin, Texas, that they're anticipating a drop in rent. It is just I guess it's a perfect storm. And yeah, we just have to, like I said, we just have to put on that shield, and because I honestly, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy, but to me, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. I do think that the food is a bit of a mess. And then I'm just saying that based on the way the body even reacts to it. Very much. So you're being attacked from all angles. From all angles. So I just had a few thoughts coming in here. I appreciate you guys so much for burning the whopping 28 minutes listening to me, because I'm doing this on a drive right now. I can't even stand to watch. I couldn't stand to watch McCarthy versus this person and that. I mean, seriously. I don't know. I just couldn't stand I can't stand to report on those. I see them, but they're a part of the machine. They know what's coming. But I can't get on. I mean, the theater is just, it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and then when I see these politicians get out here and rah, everybody wants a new hope, a fresh of, they want a breath of a fresh breath of, another fresh breath of illusion. A fresh slice of illusion. What's that, Carrie Lake? I mean, can you guys, there's another pattern there. There's another pattern. So I hope you guys are having a great sun in or sun out of your day. Because there was very little sun in the day around here. But I'm just thinking, just be aware of these illusions. Be aware. And I just think that I'm going to tell you, the more that AI takes over, it's going to send a lot of people to the house. I don't know that this ship is going down, and I don't know. I mean, if you're on it, you're going down with it. There's no stopping it. There is no stopping it. You've got, I mean, AI is pretty much, the army of AI is already ready. We've talked about this before. We talked about how, like, during the first season of CV19, about how Sophia Hansen Electronics, because you filthy human beings, that they already had an army of Sophia robots lined up to take care of seniors. And now in other places, Japan has like an emotional support stuffed animal. I think I showed you guys that. But I'm thinking, before you know it, the classrooms are going to be, they're not going to need that many people. They're not going to need that many people in these illusions or these institutions anymore. Because the more you give them of your process, it's just going to be it's just going to be dropped into and look at it. It's a complete setup. That's why they want you on these Google Drives, and the more of a lot of people's intellectual property is stored. You're paying for AI to store information that will eventually, that you won't even have any rights to. Because it's probably already there's no real laws or real protections against generative AI stealing people's intellectual process. But I think some of the best business owners in the country are successful because of their intellectual property, their process, how they do what they do. So you think about it, the Googles, the Google Classrooms, the Google Docs, the Google Drives, the shared drives. I mean, it's all mankind's thoughts, ideas, systems. Everything is well recorded. Civilization is well recorded by AI. And pretty soon, AI is going to be your moral. It's going to turn. Now that's arguably, in my opinion, allegedly. I want to be more responsible, because I'm giving you my opinion based on what I've seen. But a lot of what I'm referring to are things that we've talked about on this channel previously. I've cited many sources. They're in previous streams. And all I'm doing right now is watching what they laid out in those previous streams or in those previous sources unfold. That's all we're doing right now. We CTs, I've said this before, we're at least 18 months ahead of the media cycle. And that's what they don't like. They don't like, because we're just like a freaking movie trailer. We get everybody invested because everybody wants to be invested. They're very much invested in what the conspiracy theorists have to say. They can't it sounds like a conspiracy theory. Well, they can't take their ears away from it either. They can't turn away from it. And that's because we're on that at least 18 months cycle ahead of the media cycle. And that's why they hate that social media provided that outlet, because they know that most people, even if you want to deny or if you want to challenge somebody's theory or somebody's research, you still can't turn away from it. You're still too invested. Like when you go to a movie theater, when they show a movie trailer, they show you the most exciting, the most exhilarating parts of the movie. They don't just come out and showing you a blah, blah, blah dialogue over here. They're giving you the meatiest parts of that movie. And even if it never reaches it, but even after you watch it from start to finish, you can't turn your eyes. You still will realize, well, hey, I feel like I've been duped. I watched all of that movie and the trailer was better than the movie. Well, they got to get you invested. They got to get you invested. See, that's the problem. We do that for the media. Independent news, independent podcast, YouTube, social media. We get the people invested because it has. And shout out to Derek C. Williams. It has that ring of truth. You're invested in it because it has that ring of truth. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 months later, oh, here it comes. Now it's ready. Now the media wants to let you see it in context. They want to put it in context. We already released. We already put the pieces. We did better than predict. We did better than infer. We got you invested because we already knew. We had the right information to start with. You didn't have to wait and read. You didn't have to wait and read the media's book to see through the fake and the fraud and the illusions. You got it from your fellow CTs. We welcome you on. We welcome you on this channel. Come on in. And you don't even have to come back and say it's not the "I told you so" channel either. Go back and look in the archives. Go back and look. But I wouldn't be surprised if this next wave of tyranny, which I think is on the way, if it's a fresh wave, fresh batch, that there's going to be some things that we've already covered on here. And so, it gets to be a little bit of a burden or a lot of weight to bear when you're that far ahead of the news cycles. It really is. Because by the time they bring it to the average, by the time they roll out the slow beginning, middle, and their end of the story, we've already given the meat. We've already spit out we've already extract the meat, bon appetit. We've already done that. So I'm saying, if you haven't seen any of the economic things that are going on, I say this all the time, will the real economy stand up? It wasn't just in your gas tank. It wasn't just in your food. It's everywhere. You notice these doctors' offices, the medical community, which I don't know, to me, they have little or no credibility. In many cases, we're already, what do you want to call it, third world medicine, where you basically just need to do what the illegals do. Feel bad, just go to the freaking hospital. Go to the freaking emergency room. You stand a better chance of getting seen by somebody than you would if you go through the bureaucratic process of scheduling an appointment that they may not have until April of 2024. You might be better off to maybe Americans should start crossing the border and go to Canada and get on their waiting list. You might get that. You might get seen on their medical system before you get seen on this one. So to me, and I had a friend of mine not too long ago that said, how close we were to socialized medicine already. Well, he was damn right about that, because the CV-19 brought you that third world medicine. We got a third world mentality running the roost. People coming to the country, just dropping, having kids. Yep. That's third world mentality too. So I'm just saying, you see, friends, it's all on a loop. Was it Ecclesiastes? There's nothing new under the sun. That's true too. Because all of this is on a season and cycle. Season cycle. That's what it is. We've got a third world. A lot of people have accepted a third world mentality. A third world economy. A third world medical system. Yep. The third world is at your doorstep. You name it. The rest is just illusions. It's like the former, what is it? I don't know the scripture. It's like the former world has already passed us. We're in their kingdom now. We're not in his kingdom, the Most High. No, we're not. The former world has passed, but death and all of the destruction, deception will continue. That's what's going to happen. I don't remember what that scripture is. No longer will there be death, but the death, destruction, deception will continue. But the former world has already passed. And I think very well, and the only thing I have said, and I don't proclaim to be prophetic, is that things were never going to go back to the way that they were. No. They're never going to go back to the way they were. Pre CV-19. Nope. Nope. So I don't know. I hope I said something that was maybe stimulating, or I appreciate it so much. Shout out to Joseph Francis Burton, Marty Lauderdale, the Friendly Outcast. I appreciate you guys so much for humoring me on this whopping 42 minutes and 28 seconds. But I'm going to let you guys get out of here. And I promised, I said I was going to get back in and do this and da-da-da-da. But the next stream I do will be in studio. And I want to talk about, I want to show you some footage on, see that migrant, the whole crisis, that whole to me, that's illegal. Just about, that's illegal. It's just everything that's going on to me is illegal. Illegal. These crises themselves are illegal. The people that manufactured them are illegal. Or what is legal? Does legal even exist anymore? Is that an illusion that we've been subscribing to? I kind of want to talk about that, but definitely the economy. Let me know if you guys, what you think in the comments. How are things looking in your neck of the woods? Just about everything under the sun is up in price. So, yeah. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. And it is my intent to take the time to get away this week and get back to you guys with some economy, workforce reports. I know we got the UAW strikes are still going on. I think some of that stuff, some of those terms are in la land. You know, I remember California, I don't even know whatever happened to them trying to go to that 4-day work week. Trying to go to the 4-day work week and still maintaining a 40 hours for 4-day work week. I don't know how that panned out. But I think even these UAW workers, these unions, I think they're trying to get that as well. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. See you guys.